Hey, Shane Beauregard, your personal trainer here, coming at you with another live Q&A, and I want to apologize off the bat before anyone hops on the board or just hopping on board. We are getting crazy thunderstorms here, and the power just went out about 10 minutes ago. So if I completely go black for a second or I lose power, it's because it's thunder and lightning here. We have some storms, so if anything goes out, it's the storms. And my son's going to be coming back from gymnastics in a little bit. So you're going to get a taste of a little bit of the real life that we all have to put up with from time to time. But let's get right into it. This question last week, and again, I will try to pay attention to the monitors or the comment section. I forgot to do that last week, and I apologize. So there's some questions hanging out there. So if something comes to your mind while we're doing this, I will pay attention to the comment sections today. And from this week forward, we're going to do our live Q&A from 7 to 7:30 because I realized it's kind of hard to do a whole hour. But anyway, so it's going to be a half hour every Thursday night. So let's roll right into it. Last week, Greg asked a question about carbohydrate or electrolyte drinking while you're doing activity. And it seems like hydration has been a theme for like the last 3 weeks. All I can say is, depending on how intense you work out, anything 60 minutes or longer, just make sure you grab some Gatorade with you. You don't have to be ultra specific. They do have like specific guidelines on ratios or percentage that you should be drinking. I think it's like a 6 to 8% carbohydrate mix, electrolyte mix for every 15-20 minutes that you're going to be doing an activity that's an hour or longer. Let's simplify that. Don't worry about the 3 to 8 ounces. Just get a Gatorade bottle, G2, Powerade, whatever it is. For me, if you're like on the low carb side, a G2 with stevia, a Propel with stevia, and there's a product called Nuun, N-U-U-N, and they're little dissolvable tablets you just throw in your water bottle. And just make sure you're taking a couple sips, every 15-20 minutes if you're going to exercise 60 minutes or longer. If not, then just drink some water and you can hit those electrolytes when you get home. So now, another question I had was certifying bodies. What you should look for in your personal training when it comes to certifications. Now, I'm not here to start a war with the certifying bodies, but there's three that come to my mind. There's definitely two that are top, and I don't care what order you put them in, gold or bronze. And I'll give you four though. I'm going to give you four. So if you're looking for a personal trainer, look for these four certifications. First one off the bat is NSCA. That is a National Strength and Conditioning Association. That's where I'm certified through. They have two different types of certification: a CSCS, which is a Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist, and then they have a regular Certified Personal Trainer course. I took the CSCS because I was training athletes before I started training the general population. So if you're training athletes of any kind, that's the certification you're going to get. Which honestly was a little bit of adjustment for me coming from the athletic side to the general population side. And now it'd be a very hard transition for me to go back to that athletic side because it's been about 15 years since I've trained team-specific strength and conditioning programs. So, to me, that's number one. The CSCS has a 63% pass rate on the first-time takers. Their CPT has a 72% pass rate for first time. And I'll go back and forth, but there's only two. That's NSCA. And the next one I'm going to mention that you need a 4-year degree to even sit to take the exam. So that's why I use these two as the gold standard. The second one is the ACSM, the American College of Sports Medicine. They have different types of certifications you get, but their CPT one or the personal trainer one has a 65% fail rate for first-time takers. And again, you need a 4-year degree to get to ACSM. Now, the third one that I'll recognize, it's newer than the last two I mentioned, but that is NASM, NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine. My VP was certified through them, along with the ACSM. And they do a lot of corrective exercises along with, they have their own model on how to personal train. I like a lot of what they do. I like them. So NASM would be my third. That would be the bronze star there. You do not need a college degree to sit for that exam. but they do have a 65% fail rate for first-time takers. And if you want to throw a fourth one in there, I guess you can say the ACE, American Council of Exercise. You don't need a degree to sit for that one. It's an online course that has a 68% fail rate for first-time test takers. But that's it. If they don't have one of those 4 certifying bodies behind their names, if you don't see those little initials behind their name, you might want to second guess or think again or try to find another trainer. I'm not going to start a war between these bodies, but okay, sorry about that. Told you it's going to be a crazy night. And I know there's a lot out there like ISSA. I don't even know what that stands for. I'm sorry. There's a lot of fly-by-night organizations. And again, there's a lot of trainers out there who don't even have a degree in the field in what you're doing. And you're probably thinking, well, what does that matter? What's the difference there? Well, we don't only work with the general population. We work with special needs. We work with injuries. We work with the elderly. We work with special populations. If you have injuries, so you're really taking your own health in their hands. And you have to trust in your trainer that they have the education in how to deal with your certain situation. So yeah, they may look really good and fancy and in shape, and that is an important part, but they have to know how to work with a lot of different populations, just not the, all right, I'm healthy, I'm ready to go, I have no issue. So again, you're free to do whatever you want, but I'm telling you from experience, you want to get someone with experience and education to set you straight. So I hope that answered your question from last week. Again, 3 that you should look for. Moving on, how to get this one was kind of a joking one, but how to get swole. For those who don't know what swole is mainly how to get big. Now I got 2 ways to do that, 2 certified ways. Go ahead and look up the trainer Greg Roscoff. He's the trainer of Bryson DeChambeau, and if you don't know who he is, he's a professional PGA golfer. He put on 50 pounds supposedly in 4 to 5 months, so which is a lot of HGH and testosterone. You don't put 50 pounds of muscle on in 4 months. It's impossible to do. And he's saying he's eating 3,500 calories a day, some ridiculous protein amount per day. Which let me educate you a little about your protein intake. You do not need, if you are a 200-pound male, you do not need anything over 200 grams of protein. I don't care if you're a bodybuilder. I don't care if you're a highly tuned athlete, like DeChambeau claims to be. Your body can only take care of about 28 to 35 grams of protein per meal. The rest is getting excreted out of your body. So if you're taking in 400 grams of protein a day, just think how much you're wasting. You're wasting a lot of protein, and it can be harmful for your organs if you're taking in too much protein. So you do not need that much protein, and it is a trip. Secondly, now when the COVID's over, if you want to get swole, take a flight over to California, hop on an Uber or whatever, get yourself in Mexico, go to whatever pharmaceutical shop you first pop in, and get yourself hooked up. That's the only. I'm kidding. That's the only way to get really swole really quick. That was a joking question. Now, the other question I had was about intermittent fasting, which is very popular right now. Again, I'm not a dietitian, but I do read certain studies that come out. There are 3 methods, I would say. Now, I personally use on again, off again the 16-8 method. That seems to be the most popular method out there, but there's also the 5-2 fasting protocol. That means you eat regularly 5 days a week, say Monday through Friday, and you completely fast Saturday and Sunday. So when you're fasting, do your research. There are certain things you can and can't have on a fast, and mainly it's liquid. You can have green tea with no sweeteners. You can have black coffee. Some say with stevia, some say black. That's up for debate, but don't put an artificial sweetener in there. You have to drink lots of water. That's going to kind of suppress your hunger that you're going to feel for the first day or so. And if you're like me, you felt it like within the first 3 or 4 hours. I drink a lot of fluids, green tea, cinnamon drinks, like putting cinnamon in your water is supposed to suppress hunger, as well as cayenne pepper. So those you can have. The other one is, let me see, alternating day fasting. So you go a day eating normal, a day of fast, a day eating normal, day of fast. Those are the three methods that are very popular right now. But let's go over the most popular one, the one that most research is trending in the right direction on, and that is the 16-8 intermittent fasting protocol. Now, if you're in the midst of losing weight, and it has other benefits rather than losing weight, and I'll get into that in a second. But if you're stuck, and everyone's going to plateau a little bit when they're on that trend of losing weight. Now, if you have a lot of weight to lose, the weight's going to come off quicker, but eventually you are going to get stuck. You're just going to get, that's just the way of the beast. Your body adapts, it likes where it's at, and you have to do something to reset that metabolism, plain and simple. Now, if you're one of these people that are trying to lose 10 to 15 pounds or so, and you've been working your rear end off, and you're not going anywhere, and your eating's been on check, you've been doing the right kind of exercise, this may be something you want to look into. But I will say, do your reading first, and work up to the 16 hours. So, prime example, let's say you finish dinner at 5 o'clock, or 6 o'clock. Then you want to use your sleep cycles part of your fasting cycle. So, your last meal is at 6 p.m. You get up in the morning, whatever time you get up, your first meal is at 10 o'clock in the morning. Then you're free to eat whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want, but you're free to feed from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then that's it. You shut it back off. And, but I'll say from personal experience, you want to work your way up to that, because start with like a 12-hour fast, and then from there just kind of see how long you can go and finally get to that 16-hour mark, because the body is a very amazing tool. It'll adjust. It's going to take time to adjust. Once you hit that fasting goal of 16 hours, the first couple days are going to suck. There's no way around it. You may feel tired, you may feel hungry, you may not sleep at night, but once your body adjusts to what you're doing, you're not even going to think about it anymore. And I know you're like, I got a crazy schedule, I'm on my feet all day and all this and that. Your body will adapt, and you won't be as hungry as often, and you won't eat as much. It actually will decrease your appetite a little bit naturally. So there's a study proven with the 16-8 intermittent fasting that it raises your metabolism rate from anywhere from 3% to 14%. It raises that metabolism rate. So that means you're burning more calories with that. It's fantastic. And the way it does that is through a lot of hormone manipulation. So it lowers your insulin and increases your growth hormone, which induces that metabolism rate that helps you burn calories. It also helps with cellular repair. Since your cells aren't busy digesting all your food, they have time to regenerate and repair your body. Great with recovery. It helps your immune system. There's a whole host of benefits other than losing weight with these fasting protocols. So it also detoxifies your body as well. Get all those toxins out of there, so you just feel better. It takes away some of the inflammation that you have in your system, which nowadays there's a ton of people walking around with, just inflammation, which causes anything from arthritis to asthma to heart disease. Anything like that can be linked to inflammation in the body. And intermittent fasting has been kind of proven to help those illnesses. So, but again, I don't care what method you use. I use the 16-8. Do your research. You don't have to go digging deep. Just go ahead and go to your Googles. Just make sure, I would say the study comes from like the Mayo Clinic or some university that publishes a study. That's where I got the raising your metabolism rate to 14%. That was a study done by Harvard that came out last year. Again, I do it about 3 or 4 days a week. But I'll say average, I eat my last meal at 7 o'clock, and then I'll eat again anywhere between like 10 and 11. And some days I shut it off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm just not hungry the rest of the day. And then I'll eat again like at 9, 10 o'clock the next day. So, but drink plenty of fluids. That's going to help you. And just look it up and just go from there. And again, everything that we do exercise-wise, I don't use the word diet, but lifestyle changes. It's a constant trial and error to find the lock and key that actually works for you. Because it took me years to finally figure out what worked for me. And I was a person that just naturally trained till I I like training hard. I like training intense. So whether I'm almost at the state of passing out, I love it. It's just something animalistic that it's just on me. I like to go to that deep dark cave and just go at it. But anyway, enough about that. Find out what works for you. It's constant trial and error. So that is all the questions I had last week. So if anyone wants to hit me up in the comment section, just go right ahead and I will answer the best I can. And again, if it's a technical question, I'll give you my opinion or my 2 cents because I would have to look into what data is currently out now. If it's anything workout-wise, trend-wise, what I think about different workout styles, I'll give you my honest and forthright opinion on that. But yeah, anything else? I'm trying to look over my notes here. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I got for this week.
It's going to take like not even a minute.
Yep. So yeah, every Thursday night from 7 to 7:30, just hop on and think of this as your community as well as my page. That's what I want it to be. I want you to feel like this is a place to go to get all the correct information that you need to kickstart your health and wellness program. And again, I'll pull no punches and give you the straight truth. So go ahead and if you would, just go ahead and like my Facebook page, Shane Borger Personal Training. Go ahead and share it with a friend. I'm sure they will thank you once you let me into their lives. I'm kidding. But no, go ahead and share. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm trying to think anything else that was left off from last week. No, I think that's about it. I'm sorry. I should have come with some other information, but that's all I was asked last week. But exciting news. I will have a new website up next week, and I will post all my home workout videos on there. I do a cooking video every week. I'll have that on there, and a whole host of other good information out there for you to look and hopefully use in your day-to-day. So another thing I want to get out there, because someone said, how do I get my week off to a good start? And I mentioned last week food prep. But this week, and I have some time left, for those people out there, I know this is a pain in the butt, but seriously, what would help you out as far as your exercise goes, keep a journal. Keep a journal on what you're doing. It's the easiest way to find out why you're failing and what kind of problems you're having, and it's easier to troubleshoot your program once you have it written down. And leave yourself some notes, because listen, there is more times than not than you don't want to be working out. I get it. Just the fact that you're even there moving is a plus, doing something. But whether you have an injury, you have a headache, you're feeling tired, whatever it is, you put that in your notes and you review it after every month. In this way, you can look back and say, hey man, like I missed like 4 workouts in a row, this happened, and then you can adjust from there. So 1, keep a journal. When you're talking about nutrition, if you are trying to lose weight and you're stuck, use a app like a diet tracker. There's tons out there. I'm sure a lot of people have the Fitbits out there. I use My Food Plate, which is I use the free version. I don't need any of the premium stuff. And all you want to do is track your macros for about 3 to 4 days and take a look at what you're actually intaking and just be honest with yourself. That's what it's about. If you want to get to the bottom of your issue, you have to be honest with yourself. You look after your macros. That means your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fat. And once you realize what you're actually intaking, it's easier to adjust from those numbers and then play around the formula until you get what's right for you. So in most cases, it is carbohydrate intake. And I'm not telling you you're going on a low-carb diet at all. But it could be meaning, like say if you're getting 3 to 350 grams of carbohydrates a day, it could be as easy as just knocking off 75 to 100 a day for you to start losing weight. Alcohol is a big factor as well. And I never tell any of my clients to stop drinking if they're heavy drinkers. All I do is advise them to cut their drinking in half. And you'd be amazed, 1, on how much better you'll feel, and 2, how much weight you'll lose. Because alcohol pretty much stops fat loss from happening once you start drinking. Plain and simple. So and depends on what you drink. If you're a wine drinker or a beer drinker, a lot of carbs, a lot of sugars in there. So if you're going to drink that, just please drink it in moderation. I've known people on low-carb diets with all these, it seems like the seltzers are a way to go. even like Budweiser and Corona have their own seltzers. If you're sticking to your low carb diet and that's what you're drinking, you probably will still lose weight, but then you will plateau. So just keep that in mind. Even put your alcohol intake into your food app. This way you can have a real conversation with yourself. Yes, it does help to have a plan. That's what you need, a plan, if you're serious about this. So that's it. Let's see. Yes, go back to your macros. You don't need to. I don't worry about calories in and calories out, and I know it might be bad for me to say that, but I just look at the macros instead. Because if you're working hard and you're eating right, to me that's not as important as seeing what you're actually, the ratios of what you're putting into your body. So, let's see, make sure I got anything else. Yeah, yep. All right, folks, that's it. That's all I got this week. So please, during the week, I do this every Thursday. I don't care. You don't have to comment on this particular Q&A promo. Just hit up my Facebook page, leave a question. I will get back to you. But in the meantime, go to the Facebook page, like, share, and do yourself a favor. Hit that consult button, free consultation. You have nothing to lose, and we'll get a program for you going right now. So till then, folks, everyone enjoy the rest of the week. Stay safe during the weekend, and I'll see you next Thursday.